Love is in the air, it's so exciting. Love is everywhere. Sing it, Frank, baby. Love is in the air, so exciting. Everywhere we go, Trump is lying.
I like your innovation there.
Welcome, divine, sacred, outrageous, fun-filled, joyful, loving peoples, and any others. I have a new tonight, so if the sound or anything is off, please let me know ASAP. You can just maybe text do 831 928 701
928 301.
928 301 7332.
Yes.
Anyway, back to business, not monkey business, actual business. The star tetrahedron, the Christ frequency, the crystalline structure formed of consciousness and light, with the upper triangulation of divine power and the lower triangulation of creative love. And so this is the theme tonight as we move towards Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. And as Jan says, love is all around. The very essence of the universe is love. Source, which was within the void for ever and ever, simply being, after imagining for eons and eons of time, timelessness, we might even say, finally came to the end of imagining possibilities. And as sort of back towards the center of first imagining, when it finally got back to the very beginning, it then asked itself, what am I? And in that moment of what am I, there was a vibration that was sent forth. And so that which is the positive aspect of the void then created a vibration. The vibration created a waveform, which is energy. And then as energy moved upon itself, it created mass. And so then we had the upper triangulation of divine power. Source as positive, mirroring those three aspects of itself. But there was still no creation. There was simply vibration moving through the universe. And so that's when Source simply said, I will mirror, I will create the opposite of that which I am, which is love. And so they then created the lower triangulation, which is the negative aspect, positive, negative, just like a mirror. There's the positive that is you, there's the negative, your reflection. That's what Source did. It created a reflection. And that was then love, it was wisdom, and it was action. And as those two opposite triangulations finally merged, it then created, the star tetrahedron, Christ crystalline structure. Again, not a person, simply a mission of power and love, consciousness, and light. The, of course, real beauty of the tetrahedron that was then of creation is that as it turned, upper triangulation turning clockwise and lower triangulation aligned here. So as it turned counterclockwise, it created the vortex within the very middle of the star tetrahedron. It's open vortex, literally a doorway, a round ball of energy, if you will, which is the dodecahedron, is this particular structure. So that is the center of the star tetrahedron. 12, and as then Source emanated from inside out, it touched each of these 12 facets and then created the 12 colors of creation. And so there are 12 sounds. There's, of course, C, D, F, G, A, B, sharp. And so there are 12, just as there are then 12 colors, which correspond to the 12 frequencies. And so that then began the emanation of sound and color throughout the universe through the star tetrahedron, the Christ star. And the reason, of course, Source wanted to know, what am I? It was because Source simply wanted to see in loving itself, what can I be? And so that is then the very creation of the universe, love. The vibration of love simply emanates through all creation. It's like an ocean of love that is breathing and literally holding everything in this sacredness. But then Source also gave us free will, so that through free will, we could then error, but through error, which was named sin, but sin simply means missed mark. You missed the mark of love and joy, and you did something that was in error, which then created a counterclockwise spiral or a veil around you. And as you then look through that, if it's a veil of loneliness or sadness or frustration or even anger, he says, as you look through rose-colored glasses, that's the world. If you look through gray, foggy glasses, that's the world that you would see. But beneath it, always the oneness of Source as love was simply there, giving free will. I so love that which I am. I'm going to give myself free will to simply create. And error, miss the mark. But from error, missing the mark, I will learn even more about my possibilities, because I have now taken that which I am and I have literally manifested into billions upon trillions of possibilities within materiality. Suns and galaxies and planets and animals and people and insects and creation abundant. How is it?
Jan says the sound is cutting in and out for her.
Huh. Maybe that's better. As Source then created love, and that which is all creation is the basis of love. But again, through free will, having the right to make choices, that they created errors, which we could learn and grow from. Someone who finally mastered their own creation through the errors that they had made, which we call emotions, feelings of fear or loneliness, worthlessness, or frustration or anger, and it finally let go of all those by simply loving one's self. When one loves oneself, one no longer needs to manipulate or try to control things outside of self. Love simply emanating out, cracks back that which is loving and graceful as a result. You who have mastered that quality, like Jesus, knew and actually could see that within all creation there's love. And so when someone came to a master like Jesus for healing, he did not try and change them. He did not try and make them different. That would be manipulation. He simply vibrated that which is the Christ frequency, powerful love in action. And as it moved out from him vibrationally, it's simply in love with their illusions of separateness, lack of self-love. It didn't resist lack of self-love. It didn't judge it, not criticizing, simply flowing non-resistance through those veils until it touched what is inside of all creation, which is Source, which is love, which is God. And as it vibrated within them, They could no longer hold the illusions of separation and sin that they had put around themselves. Simply awoke back into life. It would be much like if someone is very cold, and let's say they're freezing. If you simply take them out of the cold and set them in the warmth of the sun, you're going to find very quickly that the sun simply heals, nurtures, revitalizes. So that is the power of love in action, tetrahedron.
Jan says her sound is.
Hmm.
Oh, and Jen also. Or Jen just said her sound is going off and on.
Hmm. Well, gosh dang it, sound. I don't know how to switch it to the other sound. Well, when we meditate, we won't need much sound anyway, so there we have it. And I will fix that by the next meditation. So love is, of course, the very essence of creation, the ocean of oneness. And when we find within ourselves something that feels out of balance, something that doesn't really support and really honor who we are, we then feel emotion. And emotion is, again, that counterclockwise spiral of live spelled backwards. Hmm. All right, let's go for it. And so those veils, you see, that we put around us, we call it sin, we call it error, but it's really simply giving us information about how three-dimensional worlds of form work. How, when we do take something from someone, or we disavow someone, or we somehow judge or criticize someone, it is lack of love coming from us because we're hoping that they'll be different and make us feel okay. But if we move through those emotions, just as Jesus was able to move through the emotional veils that people were carrying, and in non resistance, non judgment, move to the very core of what was inside, he simply loved that which is the truth, the oneness. And so, as we, in a similar way, are able to bring the golden light of the soul, which is our Christ frequency, and as we then hold our attention upon that frequency of living light, we feel the emotion within us, the veils of separation, maybe loneliness, maybe feelings of lack of prosperity, maybe relationship issues or not feeling validated or honored. But those things are not happening to us. It's the veils within us that are vibrating out and then creating the illusions of separation that feel very real, but they're just literally being attracted to us because of what we are carrying. And so as we move back inside through the emotion, just as Jesus did, not judging nor criticizing, not disliking, not really trying to change, but simply bringing that frequency of the supreme light that we already are. That's why we meditate, to hone, to refine that relationship with that frequency. As we bring it back in and move through the emotion, we then find the part of ourself that wasn't loved. And we know in our work that's always the time frame from 0 to 7, when we're still within the unconscious feeling body. Mind is not yet developed. There's no discerning that that's mother, father, brother, sister. Culture, something outside of self. We simply feel the feeling and then we take it in. And if there's anger within the family unit, we go, that must be me. If there's sadness and if there's fighting over money and prosperity, the child takes it in and says, that must be me. And that creates then the veil of separation. And that's why when we are able to bring the golden light of the soul that created the perfection that always lives within us, and simply in non resistance, move back down and find that magical child and bring love to that which we truly are, it reinvigorates, it revitalizes the magic within. And the child then feels and knows it's lovable. From what? The source being that created it, this great golden being of light that first created the child into this dimensional world. That mother and father, of course, gave a physical body, but it's the soul that is the true divine self, that is who and what you truly are.
Jan says her sound is fine, and Jen says hers is much better.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll still find something different to do next week. And so that's the beauty of love. It's the love that is the very essence of the universe. We are being held within it. We are bathed within it. We live within this ocean of love that is source energy. We can't get away from it. It's like a fish swimming in the ocean. It can swim forever and ever, and it's not going to be able to get out of the ocean. It can even jump up into the air, but it's going to come back down into the ocean. And so that's where all creation is. It lives within this beautiful ocean of oneness. And it's only our own emotions that are keeping us separate simply by veils of energy. And so you're not looking for source, you're not looking for God. That's hide and go seek. Where is it? Is it a book? Is it a person? Is it someone out there that's going to maybe give it to me? It's already inside. You're simply unveiling the separation. You have always been source oneness. You will always be source oneness. But it's finding and feeling the emotion in non judgment with love, powerful love flowing from on high. You simply bring that golden light back down in and through. You feel where there's the tension in the body, where's the emotion that I experienced sometime yesterday or today. You then flow into those areas, and in non resistance, you watch as this gentle awakening happens of this childlike part of you. And then powerful love in action simply holds the child in tender grace. And the child, feeling that renewal, that revalidation of its existence, begins to reawaken within you. And you have learned through error that when I judged or criticized or disliked, it was within me. And now, as I love myself, I can simply observe what's going on in the world. I don't have to judge it or criticize or dislike it because I'm not really getting anything that I really need from it. I'm getting what I need from the love I am that is vibrating out from me and attracting back prosperity and joy and loving relationships and all good God things I am. That's the simplicity of our work together. So, one of the things that helps us refine and bring the feeling of source through the open door in the heart into this dimension is our breath work. And so, when we're breathing, we're literally imagining and feeling that I'm breathing source into this dimension. The breath is really, and source is in filling the aura, the body, and with gentle exhale, sparkling, effervescent light is simply bubbling, flowing out into the world. That is the Christ light. The other beautiful thing about it, I found that as I feel myself sitting more and more at the doorway, simply allowing myself to somewhat even disappear. But I'm sitting at the doorway knowing there is the physical worlds of dimensionality, and another side of the coin is the void, the infinite possibilities of source being. And as I'm sitting at the doorway within the dark, velvety nighttime of being, I literally through my breath summon source through me, and with intentionality, I then simply allow it to become golden, sparkling, effervescent light. And so I'm enjoying more and more simply being within the void, sitting at the doorway, knowing I create reality. So let's do about 5 minutes of deep breath work, and I'll simply take you through the entire sequencing. So let's close the eyes and feel the body relaxing. And as the body is relaxing, letting go, let yourself begin to feel space within all the cells, within all the tissues. You're letting the body go. Consciousness still dynamic and present, but there's space within all the tissues and cells of the body. You imagine yourself sitting within the heart chakra at the open doorway. Like a coin, on one side behind you is void, infinite possibilities, source, infinite grace and glory. And this dimension in front of you, manifestation. And with in-breath, you summon from out of the void spirit, flowing as living breath through you, and with clear intention, you gift it the image of sparkling, effervescent, living light. It flows effortlessly through the expanded body, through the cells and the tissues, reorganizing, revitalizing, and flowing out into the world, the sunlight of peace. I am the light. And with each deep in-breath, sitting at the doorway of the divine, it is the divine I am that all creation is, and we're breathing source into this dimension. The physical sun has the same open doorway within the very center, and our physical sun summons source, and with magnificent intentionality, it becomes living radiance and life. And it fills our solar system with light and life. And so you may declare, I am the sun, brilliant and alive, bringing source I am into this dimension. And it is love, and it flows effortlessly through all creation, weaving through any veils of separation, flowing all around the world, and together we bring peace. This is the new world becoming. Not trying, not making, but simply being the sun by breathing from the open doorway, I am. The intentionality of life and light into this dimension. And the living light through the open and receptive cells and tissues of the body heals and renews every cell. Flows out into the world and brings peace and grace. I sit at the open doorway. On one side, infinite void and possibilities, my first emanation, to become the living light I am. And my breath is a vibration of love and peace, of living light. And I breathe, and I manifest, and I create. Within the dark and velvety nighttime of Source I am, summoning that which I am, the breath of oneness into creative manifestation. The ultimate gift of love, of light and peace. And then very easily now, still sitting at the open doorway, on one side of the coin, the infinite possibilities of Source I am. The other side of the coin, manifestation, the joy of my creation, seeing what I can be, and what I am is love. And when it feels comfortable, to slowly open the eyes. The great and magnificent being you truly are, that is manifesting itself within three-dimensionality, it has three outposts of consciousness and light within the body. One between the eyebrow, which is that which is spirit, the positive aspect. One at the base of the spine, which is the mother aspect of form, of materiality, of being grounded, the body. And then one within the heart. But it is the one at the top of the head, the crown, and the one at the base of the spine. When they're united from out of the heart, that's where we then summon spirit into this dimension. And so when I begin my meditations now, I always sit at the open doorway within the dark and velvety nighttime of simply being. I allow the body to somewhat disappear, knowing that it's still present in one way, but it expanded and simply is really a field of consciousness I am. And as I sit within the open doorway, I bring my attention down to the lower manifestation, base of the spine, and I begin to imagine and feel the energy of mother, of love, that gentle counterclockwise movement of the star tetrahedron beneath me. And it's dark and it's full of velvety nighttime. Then I bring my attention to the crown at the top of the head, and I observe and watch then the upper triangulation begin to flow and begin to move. But all the time I'm sitting at the open doorway, not trying, but simply seeing, knowing, and feeling base of the spine, mother form moving, upper triangulation, Father, power, light flowing. And when light and love come together, they then open the doorway and creation arises forth. That is the star tetrahedron. So I'll take you through the formulation of the star tetrahedron in that exact manner. Before, we used to begin at the crown, between the brow, and then down to the heart. But this time we'll begin at the heart, at the open doorway. And we'll sit within the dark and velvety nighttime of being, which is your truest state, a field of infinite consciousness that is manifesting the physical form to enjoy the rich experience of materiality. And then we will bring our attention to the base, watching mother form, grounded earth move. And then we'll bring our attention to the upper and watch the powerful father aspect of attention. And as we sit at the open doorway, we will then become the manifestation of living light, the Christ frequency. So let's close the eyes and feel the body relaxing. And what I am giving you are suggestions. If you still need or feel that you need to do it another way, that's fine. This is just the suggestion that I have found that has been very efficient for me. As we close the eyes and feel the body relaxing, letting all the cells and tissues of the body expand with space between. I am a field of consciousness, creating physical form. I am. And I rest at the open doorway within the heart. On one side, the dark and velvety nighttime of pure being, I am. Source, emanation. And I bring my attention to the lower triangulation, mother, love, groundedness, and I observe the counterclockwise movement of this triangulation. It flows with effortless ease, for my body is simply space. And from the open doorway within the heart, I now observe the upper triangulation, divine power, focus, and attention moving right to left clockwise. This is my true form, my true body, from out of which I create and manifest reality. And as I sit at the open doorway, bringing light and life into this dimension, it touches the facets of this magnificent star I am, magnifies it and spins it out into radiance to be the living light. I sit quietly within the open doorway, simply being. But as I rest within being, I am seeing the great star field I am, bringing source into this dimension to become magnified into living light. I am the light. I will join with you, and together we will create magnificent light streaming